Are you a fan of strategy and historical war PC gaming? If you are, you have most likely heard of the Total War video game series. The hit series, which combines turn-based strategy resource management with real-time tactical battle control, has sold more than 20 million copies since it debuted in June of 2000. Part of its successful formula has been loaning its game engine to interesting and particularly bloody settings and time periods throughout history, some of which have been based around feudal Japan, Republic-era Rome, the medieval or Dark Ages, and the Mongol invasion. Here is a list of all the games in the Total War series that have come out between 2000 and 2016. That's quite a list. The most recent release in the series, Total War Warhammer, is set in a swords and sorcery world setting for the first time, with the publisher, the Creative Assembly, choosing to partner with another British company, Games Workshop, to bring the tabletop war game Warhammer Fantasy Battle into a Total War style game on the PC. Upon its release, it was the fastest selling game in the series, selling 500,000 copies within a few days. Despite the good reviews from game critics, the reviews from players on game forums like Steam are generally low. Being one of those 500,000 gamers who purchased it on the day it came out, I've certainly put my time in with the game. So I think I have my finger on the pulse of why players have rated the game so low. For the most part, I agree with critics in reviewing this game highly favorably. Just about my only complaint with it is I found myself longing for it to be in a different setting. As cool as the Warhammer tabletop fantasy game is when it comes to high fantasy, one particular world has always been more interesting, more fleshed out, more fun, more iconic, and hell, some would even say this land is the archetype for modern fantasy. Nerds everywhere already know, but if you haven't guessed by now, I'm talking about the world of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. And judging by the success of director Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings and most recently The Hobbit films, I am not the only one clamoring for entertainment related to the world of Tolkien. Luckily for us, in this case there is an answer. We can have our cake and eat it too. Now I know what you're saying. I saw a lot of games on that list, but I didn't see Total War Middle-earth or anything alluding to that. Well, that is true. But the answer for us lies in the world of video game modding, which grew with the rise of the internet. Video game modding is when the content from a video game is altered in some way to make it look or operate in ways different than what was originally intended, and act as either a partial conversion, which adds content or changes rules, or a total conversion, which creates entirely new games that run on the original game's engine. Mods always require the installation of the video game it originally edits, and they are not standalone releases. Sometimes mods are released commercially by software companies, but more often than not, they are made by the general public, working independently and in groups, for fun, creating homebrew edits of their favorite games. Some developers, like the Creative Assembly, have provided extensive tools and documentation for mod makers, seeing it as an affordable way to keep older games fiscally viable, as the nature of mods requires the installation of the original software. And it's working. A group of homebrew mod developers took a highly reviewed but dated game from the Total War series, Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms, released in 2006, and converted it into a beautiful and fun Total War game based on the world of J.R.R. Tolkien, called Third Age Total War. Reading about this mod caused me to purchase the game online in 2016, 10 years after its original release. Because of successes like these, developers are making it easier to mod and play modded versions of their games. So while installing modded games used to require a higher level of knowledge in computing, I'm going to walk you through just how easy it is to play homebrew modded games like Third Age Total War. Now I'm going to walk you through how to install the Third Age Total War mod for Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms. And since it is a mod, we do know that we have to purchase and install the original software for it to run. So if you haven't already, you will need to go to store.steampower.com and click on this little green button in the corner to install Steam and set yourself up with a Steam account. Chances are, if you're a PC gamer, you are already installed and running Steam, as it is the premier way to download and run games online with your friends. So once that's downloaded and installed, you're going to want to open it up, and it will bring you right to the store. In the store, search for Total War, and you're going to see both Medieval 2 and Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms on the list. You're going to want to go ahead and add both of those to your cart, download and install them, and Steam will walk you through just how to do all of that. It's just like downloading and installing any other game. Now we're ready to go ahead and go to another website. That's going to be www.moddb.com/mods/third-age-total-war. And this page will give you some information you can look up. But on this main summary page, if you just scroll down, you're going to see download links. And you'll see TATW, Third Age Total War, version 3.0. There's a part 1 and part 2, as well as this 3.2 patch. If you see a 3.1 patch anywhere, do not download it. That did contain a virus. So you're going to go through on each one of these and download it. It's going to bring you through this download dialog box, show you some ads. As soon as this ad pops up, you're going to see it start to automatically download in the bottom of your screen, just like this. Now I already have it downloaded, so I'm going to cancel that. And we'll go ahead and go to my downloads folder. Right here, you see my PC and downloads, and I've got them right there. And you can see we've got TATW 3.0, part 1 of 2, part 2 of 2, as well as the 3.2 patch. And we're going to go ahead and install each one of those. Double clicking on part 1 is going to bring up this dialog. We're going to read through it and click next, as well as checking out our system requirements, clicking next, and agreeing with the terms and conditions. This is where our install changes. This path right here that we can see is the path that it would be installed to if it was being installed off of a disc when it was originally sold. Since we downloaded off of Steam, it's going to be a little different. So I'm going to install this into a folder that I've already put on my desktop entitled Third Age. And click next to install. And it's going to start installing. Now, I cannot stress enough, you're going to want to do that change when you double click and install each and every one of these. Now, since I've already done that, I'm just going to cancel out of it. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the folder that you have all of your Steam apps installed into. This is something that you set up when you set up Steam. For me, that would be in my E drive. So we're going to take a look here. We've got my E drive, then we've got Steam library, Steam apps, common, and Medieval 2 Total War. Inside that folder, you're going to see this, the mods folder. Now what you're going to do inside the folder that you installed the Third Age Total War, all 3 of those files into, in this case on our desktop, we're going to open that up and we're going to see mods and another folder called Third Age_3. We're going to copy this into our Steam Apps Common Medieval 2 Total War Mods folder. Now I've already done that, so we're not going to go through having to watch me copy gigs and gigs of information. But here's where we make the change. This is how we are able to play online and play through our downloaded version on Steam. We're going to take our America's version of the game, and we're going to add on the end of it _1. Then we're going to take this Third Age folder that we have everything installed into, and we're going to change that to America's with a lowercase, just like the other one. This is going to fake it out. So this way, when you open America's in Steam, it's gonna take you to Third Age Total War. So let's take a look at what we did. I'm back in Steam now, up in our Steam store. I'm gonna click on the library and go to our games. We can see here Medieval 2 Total War is listed, and so is our Total War Kingdoms edition. So let's take a look first at what Medieval 2 Total War looks like. First of all, without the additional mod. It's going to bring us to a splash screen and then to our main menu for the game. Now, I'm going to skip through most of the videos. I just want to show you the bulk of what the mod has changed and how it's changed the world and the setting of the game. So here we go in single player. I'll go to the Grand Campaign and I'll pick a faction, say France. It's going to bring us through a opening video for our faction. I'm going to skip through that, and then it's going to bring us into the main map. Once again, skipping through the main menus, you can clearly see that the world that we are in is medieval France. We've got the rest of Europe, Spain, England, and there's the city of Paris and a bunch of other cities. So let's quit out of the map view and I'll take you into a historical battle so you can take a look at some of the individual units that are used in this game. So let's pick, say, this battle right here. Will be the Holy Roman Empire, and jump right into it. It's going to take a little while to load. Now, I'm not going to go into any of the gameplay or how to play the game. I just want you to take a look at some of the units in the game and what changes when it moves over into the world of Middle-earth. Once again, skipping through a video, we're going to zoom in here on some of these units. There you go. You've got the units of the ancient Holy Roman Empire. They're even firing some muskets. And there they are doing battle. Okay, I'm gonna skip out of that and we're gonna go into our Third Age Total War. And this way you can see what was changed with this mod. Okay, and remember, earlier we faked the game out, tricking it into thinking that the Total Wars America within the Total Wars Kingdoms add-on for Medieval 2 was Third Age Total War. So let's click on that, and we're going to load up our new mod. And we can already see some changes in this mod that were made. Skipping through some opening videos, here's a nice opening video that the creators of the game made. And we're going to come to the main menu. Now, if you remember in our map view, before we were in Europe and France, and now we can see this campaign is all over the land of Middle-earth. So let's pick the dwarves. And they've also made a custom video specifically for this mod showing the Dwarven Kingdom. Just like before, mimicking what we were shown with the France faction in the medieval Total War. Skipping through that, and it's going to load us into our map view. Which might take a little bit longer when you're dealing with mods. It is changed to the software, and it does sometimes take a little bit longer to work, and sometimes works a little bit differently. So here we are in the game. We can see we are not in medieval Europe. There is the mountain of Erebor and Dale. If we go south, who knows, there we go, the Kingdom of Mordor. So we can clearly see that this is not medieval Europe. Moving out of our map view, once again, I'm going to take us into a historical battle, and we're going to see the differences in the army. So let's see. Once again, we'll pick a dwarven army. Here we go. We've got a nice band of dwarves here. We'll go into our battle, and I just want you to see all the differences that they've made in the units. The other units were historical units, And you're going to see in a moment that these are fantasy units, dwarven units in this case, made for this world, Tolkien's world of Middle-earth. Alright, here we go. Here are some dwarven units. And our battle has already started. We can take a look at some of these other enemy units as well. Here we've got some wargs with some orcs on top of them. And the creators of this mod took a lot of time and care to create it. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a lot of fun with this game, as much fun as I have had. And that's going to conclude this tutorial on how to install your first mod, Third Age Total War.